y'all, I just made a fruity ice cream pie for my grandson. Let me show you how I made it. All right, y'all, let's get started on this fruity ice cream pie. Honey, my sweet little grandson, Justice, he said, Nanny, I want me some kind of little ice cream pie. Now, I know, y'all, it's almost fall, but honey, whatever you little grandkids want, you gonna do it to make some sweet memories with them. So let's get started. All right, now in my little bowl, I've got me, I used 18 of these little waffle cones, and I put them in my little processor to blend them up real good, and I melted me 9 tablespoons of butter, salted butter, and we're just gonna pour that over in there and get this all saturated with the butter so that we can make us a yummy crust. All right, let me fill this and make sure I've got enough butter in this, because you want it to stick together so it don't just crumble apart. I think I'm gonna go melt me about another tablespoon of butter to put in this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna add another tablespoon, and we're gonna see how that does with it. So altogether, we have melted us 11 tablespoons of butter to 18 of our little waffle cones. All right, that's gonna work. Okay, I've got my crust all pressed down in my little pan, and what we're gonna do is put it in a 350-degree oven that I preheated, and we're gonna bake this about 10 minutes, and then it'll be ready to come out and move on to the next step. All right, now we're ready to make our filling for this yummy pie we're making. Now in this, I put me 1 pint of vanilla ice cream, and you need to let it get, pretty melted, but not completely melted. Set it out, I'd say about 15 minutes before you're ready to use it. And in this, I used a 16 ounce of strawberries, and I put them in my food processor, and honey, I pureed these little babies really good, and I put me 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar in it. So now we're just gonna pour that over in this. Honey, now they're getting them some little fruit with this little dessert. And what we'll do, we'll mix this all up and combine it, incorporate it together. And I did use Bluebell homemade vanilla because I really love their ice cream. It is yummy. And we're gonna move on to our next little fruit. Now I found it was easier just to buy the 2 little pint sizes, so I didn't have to go measuring out stuff. So I just bought the 2 pints. So we'll pour this one over in here. And then my next little fruit is blueberries. And I used a pint of blueberries with 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. And I put it in the food processor to, puree it. So we're gonna pour that on over in here. This is gonna be some pretty colors in that little pie. So next, now that we've got these little fruit incorporated with our ice cream, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it back in the freezer and let it get, pretty hardened back up, but not completely hardened. We'll leave it in the freezer for about 30 minutes while we're waiting on our little crust to completely cool. So let's go get these in the freezer. Okay, our little pie shell is all ready and cooled. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna pour that little strawberry mixture of ice cream on top of it. And then what we will do, we'll put it back in the freezer for about 15 minutes. And then we'll get ready for the other top. All right, now we're gonna add the blueberry mixture on top. Okay, we're gonna go get this in the freezer and let it harden really good before you serve it. And then when it's ready, honey, we'll cut us a piece. Y'all, it's not completely frozen, but honey, I had to sneak it out of the freezer and take me a little bite before I send it to their house. Y'all, that is one more delicious ice cream pie. Hey, go make this and share it with your friends and family and make some sweet memories. And honey, always remember to smile, because God sure does love you, and baby, He's got this.